I think one of the biggest problems that's come up time and time again in every maternity inquiry is that women aren't being listened to. And too many times their concerns about their care are dismissed. And this really does need to change. So we need to start prioritising the voices and experience of women if we're serious about fixing this crisis. And I touched earlier that I'm the Liberal Democrat spokesperson on mental health. And so I do need to mention the shocking statistic that suicide is now the leading cause of death for women between 6 months and 12 months, 6 weeks and 12 months after giving birth. And with World Mental Health Day being tomorrow, it's heartbreaking to think how many sort of new mothers must be really suffering without the support that they need. And we also need to recognise the financial impact on this crisis. The NHS faces a 21 billion maternity negligence care bill. That's money that should be going into providing maternity care itself. And when the negligence payout is 3 times the actual funding for delivering the care, that shows it's a system that absolutely needs resources being poured into it to ensure that we get that bill down and have it being used to deliver safe and effective care. In Winchester, people are particularly concerned about proposals to downgrade our consultant-led maternity services to one that doesn't have consultants and surgeons on site. And unlike my honourable colleague who's a doctor, I'm a vet, so I haven't got your experience, but I have done countless emergency caesareans, and I know that when something starts going wrong in childbirth, especially halfway through a birth, timing is everything. And the thought of people starting to give birth in Winchester and then having complications arise and then having to be transferred up to Basingstoke is understandably a concerning and terrifying thought for many people in our constituency. And so that's something we're fighting to keep maternity services, consultant-led maternity services in Winchester, because this was partly how the problem in Gloucestershire arose with the downgrading of services to other hospitals. I suppose maternity services and their safety, it's a concern nationwide, but including in the Hampshire Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust. In 2023, the Care Quality Commission downgraded the Trust's maternity services from good to requires improvement after they found serious safety concerns. Now, the amazing staff have been working really hard to improve, and I'm really pleased to report that they exited the Maternity Safety Support Programme in July this year. But there's still a long road ahead to restore public trust in these vital services. And I want to acknowledge the brilliant work of Winchester resident who is here today, Jo Cruz. She launched the Delivering Better campaign. And I'd urge everyone here who has obviously have a particular interest in maternity services to engage with that campaign and learn more from it. With her permission, she has shared with me her story, and I'll read it out now. So, my daughter's birth in October 2021 was the most terrifying experience of my life. I entered motherhood injured by a series of poor clinical decisions and deeply traumatised by a 3-day labour during which my calls for help and pain relief were repeatedly ignored or dismissed. The experience eroded my trust in the healthcare system I have always revered, pushed my marriage to the brink, stripped me of my dignity, and led me to develop suspected PTSD and many months of painful recovery. It has had a significant impact on how I feel about whether I will have more children. I cannot overstate how far the shock waves of that experience have extended in my life. I live with the knowledge that what has happened to me was not only avoidable, but is happening every day in maternity wards across the country. This is not an issue localised to a few ailing trusts. It is a public health crisis being allowed to unfold in plain sight. Thank you.